Okay, let's look at yesterday's assignment. And I know for sure we need to do number 4. Were there any that you needed me to do that you were confused on or needed a little extra?
What? How did you number for that?
Okay, let's look at number 4 then. Y equals 4. We need to graph that. So y equals 4 is, it has a y-intercept of 4 and a 0 slope. Because it doesn't have a x, like it's y equals 0x plus 4. So that means our y-intercept, we're going to start at our y-intercept at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And since it's a 0 slope, do y'all remember slope, dude? What does he do whenever it's a 0 slope? No, a 0 slope. No, horizontal line. He's walking, right? Because this is positive, negative, 0, and undefined. So this is the 0 slope. So we are going to draw a horizontal line. Let me get it. It's in that folder that's open. Okay, so a way to remember this is HOI. If it's a 0 slope, y equals the number, it's a horizontal line. The other one was Bucks, vertical line, undefined, x equals the number. Okay, so let's look at this. We need to solve it for y, so we're going to divide by 4 on both sides. So we get y equals 6 over 4. And let's find out what that is as a decimal. Divide 6 by 4.
$1.5.
Yeah. So again, on this one, we have a 0 slope. And the y-intercept is at 1.5. So we are going to put a point at the y-intercept, so that's in between 1 and 2. And m equals 0, so it's going to be the 0 slope, horizontal line again. Oh man, mine looks really bad. But y'all get the idea, right?
Yeah.
I did not go through it at first. So if we're classifying these, what would these lines be classified as? Parallel. Same slope, and they also never touch.
Pretty easy.
Okay, so 4 should be parallel, 5 should be perpendicular. 6. All right, so this should be completed. So you're going to turn this in. Okay, so now let's look at our slides. We're going to work on the slides. And then you'll have a Delta Math assignment. So let's look at slide 16. So it says, write an equation passing through the point that is parallel to the given equation. So let's open up a new page in our journal. Parallel lines. Slide 16. So the first one is -4, -1. So I'm just writing this down, and I'll show you mine in just a second. There we go. Parallel line, slide 16.
After the points, what does that comma mean? Next to the y. When you see it on the paper.
Like this.
Yeah.
It's separating two pieces of information. Yeah. So it doesn't mean anything. Mm-mm. Not a math symbol. Okay, we're not going to graph them. All we're going to do is write the equation of the new line. So we need to first know that parallel lines have the same slope, remember?
Yes, ma'am.
So our slope is 2. So we are going to write the equation of the line that has a slope of 2. So we are going to use y equals mx plus b to find our b value. So this is x, this is y. So this will be -1 equals 2 times a -4 plus b. So -1 equals 2 times a -4. It's -8 plus b. Add 8 to both sides. -1 plus 8.
7.
70.
Positive 7.
Yep, positive 7. So now we can write the parallel line. Y equals mx plus b. Our m is the same as our original, so it's 2x plus 7. Now we need to check our work in our calculator. So get your calculator out. If you don't have one on your desk, get one. Everybody should be putting this in their calculator right now. So go to y equals, clear out what's in there, and put in the given equation. This is the given information. 2x plus 4. And then our y2 is 2x plus 7. Hit graph.
Oh, it's undefined.
You did something wrong if it's undefined.
Parallel.
Yeah, they should be parallel, right? Because that's what it told us. Write the equation of the line that's parallel too. So yes, they are parallel. Does this line go through -4, -1?
Oh, yes.
We got to look at the table. So go to second graph, which is your table. And we're not worried about y1 because that was our given information. We're worried about the x paired with the y2 being -4, -1. So go to the x on -4. And then for y2, because that's our second equation, it should be -1. And it is. So we checked the point and we checked that the lines were parallel. So y equals 2x plus 7. Okay, so let's write that here. Y equals 2x plus 7. Write down problem 2.
Oh my gosh, it's just like.
So our second problem says write the equation of the line that's parallel to y equals -1/4 x plus 7 and goes through the point 8, 3. So if it's parallel, what do we know about the slope?
They're not the same.
They're the same. So we're going to write m equals -1/4. And we're going to follow the same steps. But do y'all remember the other way to write the equation?
Yeah.
Remember the y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. We're going to use that method right now because you can pick which method you want to do. And I want you to know that you can do both. And I want you to know how to do both. So we're going to use this one on problem 2. Not because we have to, because I want y'all to see both ways. Okay, so write that down. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Okay, so this is x1, y1. So let's plug in and then solve for y. So it'd be y minus y1 is 3.
Y1 is 3? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then m is -1/4. And then x minus x1 is 8. Then I distribute the -1/4 to everything inside. So on the left side, still y minus 3 equals -1/4 times x, -1/4 x, and -1/4 times a -8. -1/4 times 8. Oh, times a -8, right? I did not put that in negative. -8. There we go. Positive 2, so +2. Okay, and then the next step to get y by itself, what would it be?
Subtract 3. Or add 3.
Add 3, yep. So y equals -1/4 x plus 5. Okay, so look at both ways. Which one do you like better?
The second one.
Okay, who likes the y equals mx plus b? Raise your hand. Okay. Who likes the y minus y1? Raise your hand. Okay. So you can do it that way. Perfectly fine. Let's check it in the calculator now. So go to y equals, clear out what's in there, put in our original equation and then our new equation. Okay, and then we want to graph it, make sure it looks parallel. Negative slope, it's going downhill. Looks pretty good. Okay, and then we want to check the table and make sure that 8, 3 is a point for the second equation. So go to second graph. I want to look for 8 on the x's. You should be doing this too. 8 on the x side of the table. And then the red one's the second graph, which is the one that we put in second. So 8, 3, that is on the table, so we're good. So let's put this in our digital. Let's see. So y equals -1/4 x plus 5. Let's see what 3 has. We have 4, 5, and we have x minus 2y equals 14. Okay, so for it to be parallel, it has to have the same slope. But this isn't written as y equals, so I can't find the slope easy. So I need to solve it for y first. So I'm going to rewrite it over here. X minus 2y equals 14. I'm going to solve it for y. So I'd subtract x from both sides. I get negative 2y equals negative x plus 14. Then I divide by negative 2 all the way through. Negative x over negative 2. The negatives cancel. And I have x over 2. What do I put in front of x?
Oh, 1.
Yeah. So 1 over 2x. And then what's 14 divided by negative 2?
7.
Negative 7. Okay, so this is our given equation. So from this given equation, we're looking just for the slope so we can find the new equation. 1/2. Yep. So m equals 1/2. That's all we wanted from this equation, just the slope. Okay, so you can solve it with the point slope form y minus y1 equals m x minus x1, or the y equals mx plus b to find our b.
Oh, so we didn't finish it?
No, because all we found was the slope. This equation is the same as this. You see that? They're the same exact equation, just one's written as y equals. And in order to know the slope, you've got to write it as y equals. So we're going to do the y equals mx plus b to solve for b so we can write our new equation. So this is x, this is y. So it's 5 equals 1/2. X is 4 plus b. It's 5 equals half of 4. It's 2 plus b. Minus 2. So 3 equals b. So we would write this as y equals mx plus b. So it's half x plus 3. So when we do it this way, all we're finding is the b, and then we rewrite the equation.
Wait, but isn't B 7?
Negative 7 on our given equation. But a line that's parallel that goes through 4, 5 is this one. Okay, so let's go to y equals, clear out what's in there. Oh, yeah. And put in the given equation and then our new equation that's supposed to be parallel to it. I messed up on that first one, didn't I? Should have done minus 7. There we go. Because that's my given, so I put that in first, and then I do the one that we just created. Okay, they look parallel. So then the next thing we check to make sure is that 4, 5 is a point on that. Let's go to table. We're going to do 4 for x, and for the second one, 5. 4, 5. It's there, right? So that's good. Okay. So let's put that here. We're going to skip number 4 for now. Okay, let's go to slide 18.
Wait, 18?
Yeah. We're going to skip 17 for now. Okay, so slide 18, we already started. We did this one. I did not write it in there, type it in there. This was the perpendicular lines 18. So recall that perpendicular lines, the slopes are opposite reciprocal, means you're going to flip the fraction and change the sign. And the y-intercept can be any. Let's go to slide 19 and go to number 5. So I need to start a new page in my journal because I'm going to a different slide. So we're at perpendicular lines, and this is slide 19. Oh. So it's calling this 5, 3, negative 3, and y equals 3/4 x plus 5. Okay, so this time we're doing the perpendicular line to this line. So we need to look at what the slope is and then write the perpendicular slope. So the slope is 3/4. But the perpendicular, I'm going to abbreviate perpendicular slope, is when you flip it and change the sign. So it's going to be negative 4/3. Because our original slope is 3/4, the slope of a perpendicular line would be negative 4/3. Flip it, change the sign. So we're going to write the equation. So y equals mx plus b. And we're going to plug in x, y, m to find b, to write the equation that's perpendicular. So x and y. So this would be negative 3 equals m, negative 4/3, times x, which was 3, plus b. Negative 4/3 times 3. Equals negative 4. So it's negative 4 plus b. We're going to add 4 to both sides.
Yeah.
So negative 3 plus 4.
Oh, positive 1.
Positive 1, yep. So the line that's parallel to this one and goes through that point is one that has a slope of this and a y-intercept of 1. So we're going to write y equals negative 4/3 x plus 1. Okay, so we're going to put in the two equations into y equals, clear out what's in there. want to regraph it. So sometimes it doesn't look right. I've already adjusted my graph, so it will look right. But if your graph does not look right, go to zoom and square. That'll fix it so that it's equal on the X and Y axis. And so it squares it up. Otherwise, it looks like this. And it doesn't look like perpendicular lines. And that's because it's not equally spaced. The X and Y axis have different spacing. So you go to zoom, square, zoom 5 to see it as it should be. Colin, did you put those in? Doesn't look like it. And then our next thing would check 3 and -3. So we are going to go to our table. So we want to go to 3 and make sure that the second one has -3 matched with it. Okay, so let's put that on here. Y equals -4/3 X plus 1. We're going to go to 7 now. We're going to skip 6 and go to 7. So write down the information they give us for 7. Okay, so we're still being asked for the perpendicular line that goes through this point and is perpendicular to this. So we don't know what the slope is. So what do we have to do in order to find the slope? We'll do that second step.
So we have to solve for y.
Solve for y. Subtract the x. Yep. We got to get to say y equals so we know what the m is. So minus 2x. That's 10y equals -2x plus 20. So divide by 10 all the way through. -2/10. What does that reduce to? -1/5. Yeah. Plus 20 divided by 10? 2. So my slope is -1/5. So if my slope is -1/5, what's my perpendicular slope?
5/1.
5/1. This one's negative, so it'd be positive. And we could just write 5. 5/1, 5. This is our original. Our perpendicular slope is 5. Okay, so let's do y equals mx plus b. If you want to use the other method, you can. Just check your answer at the end of my work. So this is x, this is y. So this would be 3 equals m is 5, x is 2 plus b. So it's 3 equals 5 times 2 is 10 plus b. Subtract 10 on both sides. 3 minus 10, -7 equals b. So our new equation, the one that's perpendicular, is 5x minus 7. This one was the original one. This is the one that's perpendicular to it. So go to y equals, plug these in. Okay, so now graph it. And make sure if you need to, you hit zoom and then go to square for number 5 to make it actually look perpendicular. If it doesn't look perpendicular, check that first. And if it still doesn't look perpendicular, that means you did it wrong. Okay, now check your graph. Go to your table. And we're looking for 2, 3. So 2 on the x, and then y2 should be 3. Okay, let's put that in. Y equals 5x minus 7. Okay, and your assignment is on Delta Math. You're going to at least get through half of it. There are several parts, so just get 2 of those parts done because tomorrow you'll be given time to work on it in class. And then there's a review, and there'll be a test on Friday.
Today's Wednesday, right?
Mm-mm.